Hi Virgo, hope you guys are doing well. It's going to be a general reading for your aspects for July 8th through the 16th. I added that one day drop over just because we have the lunar eclipse. Might as well just add that in there on that last day. So we're going to be talking about the aspects going to be impacting you during this time. And we're going to be getting some advice from tarot. But first, let's get some crowning energies. And guys, if you hear anything weird, my neighbors have a big outdoor movie screen and they're watching a movie and it's quite loud. Okay, Mars. Okay, we get the Mars energy. A lot of Mars going on. You have Mercury, Mars meeting up, and we have that Mars-Uranus square. So we'll talk about that in a minute. And then let's just pull wisdom of the oracle to get a nice oracle message in addition to the astrology message. Let's just see any messages for Virgo, any advice that Virgo needs to hear. July 8th through the 16th. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's see what we got. By the book. Nice. Okay, I like that card by the book. All right, so let's talk about these. So Mars, okay. You know, look, we're going through a lot of stuff right now, Virgo, right? Lots of changes. So with this card, you're going to be presented with challenges to protect your interests or to move ahead very quickly on something, okay? The Mars card indicates a type of passion and drive that's linked to the spirit and life force. In ancient British magic, this type of energy was called cunning fire, which enabled men and women to act like gods and goddesses, to create and defend and to build energy and to just to change fate, right? This is what they believe. They believe that this magic would change fate. So this is energy turning up. It's very fiery energy, and it's turning up to infer that a fire has been lit under your toes and into your passions right now. It's a time to achieve what you want in life. At least you're being shown a clear path, this energy does indicate. And it could be it could be romantic or sexual in nature. It could involve any other type of relationship. The most important thing here is that the goal should be pursued very actively at the current time and vigorously. It's a very fast energy. It's Mars. It's fast. Okay, it's fast. This can also indicate a formidable competitor showing up on the scene. This could have to do with in work, your career, or it can even be, for some of you, someone trying to actually move into your relationship space where they don't belong. So, you know, this is the kind of energy that's indicated here. But the question now is, how are you going to take action? So this is what you're going to have to figure out now through this eclipse energy. How do you create momentum to achieve your goals and dreams? And have you been challenged to protect your own interests? And how does that make you even feel? Are you being pushed too hard by someone or something, a situation? How do you clear your path to get what you want? And are you willing to battle? Are you willing to fight for something? Has someone or a situation challenged you in that way where you feel like you honestly need to fight for something? You know, so this is really what you're going to be thinking about, because you do have this strong Mars energy indicated here for sure. And then we have by the book. Okay, so, you know, I love this energy for you, Virgo, because I love Virgos. Virgos are, first of all, so smart, so intuitive. You're introspective. You guys are the hermit. You guys are the hermit. And you figure stuff out a few steps before the next guy. And you know, you're very solid people. At the same time, though, because every sign has a little bit of a shadow side, you guys are very challenging to, I'm not going to say please, because that's the wrong phrase. You like things a certain way, and you have a very low threshold for things that you don't consider reasonable in people, if that makes sense. So what this is saying, for like in relationships especially, is getting along with others entails understanding and respecting who they've become as a result of their own environment, their culture, their experiences. And you have to find a middle ground that allows any relationship that you have in your life. This could just be friendships, colleagues. It could even though be members of your own family who have just grown in different ways, separate from you. And they have their own set of experiences and their own set of values. So maybe they were more like you at one time, and now you're realizing they're not, and you're struggling to make sense of this and how to assimilate it within a new type of relationship with them. So this really does want you to find a middle ground that allows that relationship to flourish while honoring the individuality of the other person and still maintaining your individuality, So this playing the things by the book here, instead of trying to break the rules or pressure others to conform to the way that you want them, and as a result, your connection's really going to deepen. So this is just about accepting things that maybe you don't fully understand or that you wouldn't fully do, that kind of stuff, as far as your relationships go. Yeah. All right, so we have stuff going on. The cards are flopping. Cards are popping. Oop. I don't want to take this. It popped out. We have judgment. Judgment. Who's judging? Who's judging? Who's doing some assessing right now? All right, so we're going to go into the energies from July 8th on, but I do want to just remind you guys that on July 1st, carrying through over to August 18th, we do have Mars and Leo with you guys. Very passionate in that 12th house of fantasy and imagination for the first time in 2 years. So chances are very high that you could get caught up in a very hot but unrealistic attraction. Many of you may even indulge in like a covert affair, and if you're not looking for substance, that's okay as long as you're safe. But don't kid yourself, because you can't turn a player into a keeper, as they say. And then on July 3rd, going through to the 27th, you have Venus in Cancer. And, Venus is the planet of love, makes her annual move into your 11th house of friends and technology, which is an interesting placement. So, for some of you, you guys might be finding love on a dating app or something like that. You see how there's a crossover between love and technology. But couples are definitely going to have a lot of fun socializing together. A lot of you might be joining organizations that really speak to both of your interests, so that's really great. So there's a lot of positives about that. And then, of course, we had that July 2nd Cancer New Moon Solar Eclipse. Holy cow, that was a big one. I do have a lot of cardinal energy in my birth chart, so it did hit me. And then, of course, we have Mercury retrograde. That's July 7th to the 31st. It'll be out of shadow by mid-August, but you know what, whatever. We live half our life in Mercury retrograde, so let's not labor too much over that. But on the 8th, we have the Mercury and Mars meeting up. And this is very mercurial, obviously. Very, Mercury and motivational Mars coming together in your 11th house of group activities, that's like strong collaborative energy. Very strong, very heated, collaborative energy. So this is about networking, both online and real time. This could spark very dynamic connections. But the thing is, since Mercury's retrograde, this is going to be more of an exploratory phase rather than rushing into anything binding, any binding commitments. And good thing, because I am getting a little bit of wonky energy here from this Knight of Swords reverse, and then we have the Eight of Wands reverse. Okay, so the Knight of Swords reverse, this is a Capricorn Aquarius energy, and when it's reversed, the influence typically, typically in the upright, the King of Swords can be very balanced, right? But when it's reversed, it can be destructive. So this indicates to me that whatever you're involved in, any sort of like, whatever it is, it could have to do with work, a collaborative work effort. It could be something recreational. It also could be something within your family, but you're going to be put under unreasonable pressure to produce results in this energy. And unfortunately, there's no room for argument or personal interpretations here. So you might feel very oppressed on this day, on July 8th. Many of you may be dealing with someone who is playing mind games and, the type of person who would do almost anything to win, But don't worry, that this is a temporary situation, right? And then we have the Eight of Wands reverse, Mercury and Sag energy. When this is just basically, on the most mundane sense, this is delay. So you might have a lot of pending work to finish up. And you may be waiting for a particular decision that decision ends up fueling other opportunities for you. But for now, you're just going to have to be patient because you're not going to be getting the answer right now. And it's also important to be discreet about any grievances you have right now, especially if you're in any sort of collaborative kind of organization, collaborative team effort, collaborative anything. Keep your grievances to yourself. That's super important right now. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself just in the muck of very petty arguments, and you don't want that, right? Who wants that? That's so annoying. And then for others of you, if you have hopes for a new love, you may be feeling a little disappointed by the person's lack of contact, and there might be some jealousy indicated here in this energy. So just a little heads up about that, okay? And then we have on July 9th, we have Sun and Saturn in opposition. And, you know, a mark of maturity is how well you deal with disappointment. And under this day's wet blanket throwing Sun-Saturn clash, your confidence might take a little bit of a hit. Try not to take it personally. You may never really find out the real reason for the rejection, so just keep your head high. Queen of Swords reverse. Just keep your head high, you know. Go back to the drawing board and be inspired to just do it better the next time. Yeah, so, all right, so let's talk about these. So the Queen of Swords reverse, Virgo and Libra energy, okay? Virgo and you. I'm sorry, Libra and you. This reversal suggests excuses for bad behavior or a situation in which you were unjustly attacked, for sure. I mean, this because swords are words, right? So you are unjustly attacked here. You can be dealing with an individual who suddenly turned very vengeful towards you for some reason. However, a common reason for the Queen to invert can be extreme stress. So this could actually even be you or someone close to you who's extremely stressed out. But this person lacks awareness of how very unreasonable their demands have become. So if this is the case, the advice here is to back away. Back away. And again, try not to take things personally, because I'm getting I am getting that this is somebody external to you and that they're really giving you a hard time, and it's really knocking your confidence. Try not to take it personally. Back away. They are going through it, okay? You're just going to have to understand that. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles reverse. So this is an earth energy. You know, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This reveals greed, though, in reverse, and holding fast to one specific outcome. You know, the desperation for that outcome can cause materialistic thinking. So when you're affixed to one goal or one anything, you know, to like hyper focus on it, as other aspects of your life can often suffer, you know. So this energy can show maybe like an unwise investment of time or money. So be aware of the motives of those who you work with, who you invest time with. You know, this can be a difficult time when you, like, maybe if you were treated unfairly by an unscrupulous person or organization in this energy. Money for work that you did, maybe that doesn't materialize at this time. And this energy can show also financial mismanagement and some mistakes. So as a prediction in a reading, it advises here not to make any major financial decisions right now, which you don't want to do any right way, right? Because Mercury is retrograde. We have to live life, of course. If you have to do something, just make sure you read the fine print, you know? Because typically when we start something brand new or we purchase something brand new in this energy, we end up realizing it's not exactly as we had hoped, you know? And as far as personal relationships go, this can show someone close to you being very materialistic, very selfish, very grasping, wanting to keep everything for themselves, right? So, you know, also on the mundane senses can show like a gambling or reckless spending of some kind, you know. And then we have July 10th, which is that Sun and Neptune trine. So this is a space where you're being really asked to seek out like-minded people in this energy, like-minded souls, to see what you come up with when you put your heads together. You may find that you're instantly clicking with someone, and that's really worth checking out. That's worth exploring, You know, so you do want to trust your intuition and follow where that leads. So let's see what other information. Okay, so we have the King of Cups, Libra and Scorpio energy. Yeah, okay, great. Listen, a need exists to settle a conflict. Okay, either within yourself or between you and others. This is usually in work or a family situation. And this is the thing. With this Sun-Neptune trine and you seeking out like-minded people, you're not going to be able to enter into anything new without a clear mind. Something is bothering you, Virgo. And you're not sure whether to be logical, you know, or should you go with your mind? Should you go with your heart? You're really not sure. If in doubt, this energy does say, go with your intuition, let your heart rule, if you're not sure. If you need to conduct any sort of negotiation or discussion that are of value, discussions and negotiations that are of value during this time, be sure to use all of your charm and empathy, making the people you're dealing with feel like you're actually listening to them and really engaged with them, just so that they'll drop their defenses and your communication can be effective so that you can really take full opportunity here with the Sun-Neptune trine. You know, because this is really a beautiful energy to make connections and start something new. But this is telling me that something is eating at you and it's blocking you. And you're not going to be able to take full advantage of this energy unless you deal with this. There's something that you need to deal with. There's somebody that you need to speak to. There's some conflict that needs some straightening out in your life. And only you would know that, right? Yeah, because this is it's a general energy, right? And then we have the Page of Cups reversed. So this is an Earth of Water energy. And, you know, when we see this brings up frustration and irresponsibility, Virgo. Okay, so some offer does not materialize and you might get to a space where you feel like, what the hell am I doing this for? You feel like life is all work and no play. Now, for many of you, and as a person separate from you, the reverse page is very emotionally mature and seeks attention, and you can't really rely on their perspective because they're really only able to obsess about their own needs and their own desires. So this person may be living in a dream world and become very defensive when challenged. So in family relationships, a child may find it difficult to communicate his or her feelings, and this may be something that you're dealing with at this time. An additional meaning of this reversal is, Virgo, I do have to say, intoxication, too much partying. So if this is resonating with you, it's time to come down and get back into an ordered routine, because I am getting actually that this could be, and for some of you anyway, self-medication, you're self-medicating because this thing is bothering you. You have all this great energy to move yourself forward. You have a lot of this Mars like pushing you, like, what do you need, you know? But something's bothering you that's getting in the way of you moving forward just with completely clean of everything. And these cards, this advice here is really pushing you and encouraging you to address it. Address this person or this situation or these colleagues or these family members, whatever it is. This needs to be addressed for sure. Yeah. And then we have July 11th, the Mars-Uranus square, and I got to tell you, well, let's pull the cards first to even say, okay. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I figured either the Tower or at least the Death card. Okay. With this Mars-Uranus square, people are not going to be wearing their kid gloves today on that day, on July 11th. Okay. So it's not going to be an easy day. You're going to have to wear your protective gear. Okay. Very caustic, very critical comments could come to fruition, with little regard for your feelings, you not having regard for their feelings. But somebody's going to be very kind of mean to you right now. Even if that makes you want to get even, don't stoop to their level is the energy here. But yeah, I mean, so let's talk about these anyway. Why don't we talk about them together? Ace of Swords. This is an air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm getting that this is you bringing immediate change to your circumstances for the better. This is you wanting to do that. This is you really wanting to do that, because the ace is newness, swords are ideas and words, and so you have all of these new ideas in your mind, right? And you want to change your circumstances. But you do realize that in order to do that, something needs to happen, which is exactly what we were just talking about. And then hence we have the Tower card. This energy predicts new beginnings, decisions, and clear thinking, typically related to work or love, right? Work and love, or work and love. But it calls for action and drama and often confrontation. That's the deal with the Ace of Swords, okay? So you may end up taking on an abrasive approach, which can create this Tower moment. Something in your life has ended and it needs to be torn down. And this needed to end. There's no sense in crying over spilt milk with this one. There's not even any sense in blaming anyone, because whatever came to an end needed to come to an end for everyone's higher good. This is a good thing. This is why I actually really like the Tower card. You know, because the Tower represents, you know, what's leaving, outdated ideas, an outdated way of thinking, an outdated way of just being, you know, that no longer serve you. This is you realizing that the way you've been thinking and handling things up till now, I'm not going to say it was necessarily wrong, but doesn't necessarily serve your highest good in the way that you'd like, in the way that you're looking for. As this is you realizing that shifts need to be made in your own foundation. And, you know, this giving you fresh ideas and perspectives on exactly how to approach that new way of being in a healthy way. But it's like you needed this Tower moment. You needed this thing to happen, this conflict that you needed to address. This is a core issue in your life, and it's serving to actually clear the decks for you to have a healthier way of being. And this is why I actually do think it's pretty healthy in that way. I do like that. And then July 14th, we have the Sun-Pluto opposition. Okay, let's pull cards. I kind of like doing that, and then I talk to you about it. So we have the Sun reversed. Okay, and then the Ten of Wands, yeah. All right, there's only one route to take today, and that's the high road. Virgo. You know, if you're not content with the way an interaction is going, or if the relationship is going, or you feel poked at by something, either call somebody on it, call the person on it, or agree to table the discussion for another time. Continuing to engage with anybody who's not open to compromise is a recipe for disaster, and you don't want to do that, okay? So then we have the Star reverse energy and this Aquarius energy, and this shows up to indicate that you gave up too easily on something. You may be too attached to a fantasy scenario while overlooking the pragmatics and details of something, and alternatively, you may feel like lulled into a false sense of security in an adventure or a venture that has no real foundation or real chance of success. So this is making you feel very alone right now. And I'm getting that while you took the high road, I feel like you've pushed yourself into a space of disconnect of something. And it could be because you're just so damn tired. You're just so damn tired of all of it. We got this Ten of Wands. This is a Saturn and Sag energy. Many of the signs are getting this for this week. This is just you carrying too much on your shoulders right now, and you may become so used to the burden that you lost sight and reason of why you even do what you do. Why are you doing the work that you're doing? Why are you working at something at all? Why are you even bothering? You know? Some of you can be at odds with your children right now. Some of you are at odds with somebody, and you feel like you're just responding to too many demands at once, but at the same time, there's this undertone in this energy that's just carrying significant emotional burdens from your past. You can still be very successful in this energy, for sure. It's just a matter of managing your time and resources, but it's certainly a very challenging energy. So you know that change is necessary because you just can't keep doing this anymore. And I am getting that some of you are just choosing to walk away, but Virgo, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, you don't want to give up on something that's of value, because I am feeling that there's value here. The Tower happened because it had to happen for your higher good. Yeah. Yeah. Don't give up, though. This is a temporary energy. The Star card is a major arcana. Okay? This is a long-lasting energy. But don't make a rash decision based on a minor arcana energy. Okay? This is a tough time. So just really try to hang in there and be patient with this time period, because it is going to get better, I promise. So let's pull the last two cards for that July 16th, that Capricorn full moon lunar eclipse at 24 degrees Capricorn. Okay, yeah, all right, this makes sense to me. Yeah, because this full moon and this lunar eclipse, this lands in your sensual 5th house, and it could spark, honestly, a full-on romantic renaissance. I've seen this happen before, and it's because it's in close proximity to Pluto, because Pluto is very transformational. So whatever shifts you're hoping to manifest can really begin to happen over like the next 2 weeks, but you have to do your part. So you really want to let people know that you're open to introduction, and let your flirty side out a little more too. If those of you who are in relationship, you have to let your partner know that you want to deepen something, or maybe you're looking for a little bit more. You know, this could certainly be it. And maybe like you're a little bored, yeah, because we have, bored is such a cool word, but you know, sometimes, listen, that happens in relationships sometimes, right? So we have this Four of Cups. This is a moon in Cancer energy, and this indicates you feeling disillusioned in relationships. So up to this point. So this card often comes up if you've been hurt in the past and you're protecting yourself with what I call the checklist cards. It's like instantly rejecting anyone who doesn't live up to your exact standards, to the point where even if your soulmate came along and poked you in the nose, you wouldn't recognize their potential, you know? And this is like, oh, will I ever meet anyone I like card? And the answer is yes, and you can and you will, but it's time to risk opening up emotionally again. Even though you may honestly think you're ready for love, there might still be some issues from the past that you have to heal. And for those of you in an established relationship, yeah, I mean, this does indicate a tinge of boredom in your relationship, and it's only a phase. So it's time to inject some fun and romance back into your relationship, so you don't ultimately find yourself staying in the relationship more out of habit, you know, than anything else. Others of you can just feel very bored with your job, and you're just really wanting to make a positive change in your environment. But this does speak to, you know, this 5th house firing up to me. And then we have the 6 of Cups, which is a Sun and Scorpio energy. It talks about happy memories in a time when you're recalling the past with fondness. Yes, this is a time for good things to come from the past. So reunion parties, reconnecting with old friends, some distant family members. In some way, the past returns to help you in the present. So lots of conversation and reminiscing with old friends or contacts, seeds of a new idea that culminate out of this conversation can be something that you're dealing with right now. But overall, you're going to find the right balance in relationships and have a period of peace and harmony. But I do have to tell you, very specific to this lunar eclipse, is somebody's going to be coming back from your past. In love, an old flame comes back, and you're going to need to weigh up if it's worth going back to the relationship, guys, because especially with this lunar eclipse, Virgo, 5th house energy, truly a full-on romantic renaissance in this way, where if you're revisiting something, it's not going to look anything the way it did. It's going to be so much better, but you really have to figure out if you want that with this person. And I have to tell you, the energy fully supports it. So this can also be a renaissance, as in a severe reviving of a relationship that you're in, where you guys just really truly rediscover each other. The energy is very much indicating this as well for those two scenarios. So this is a great reading for you guys, I think. the love sector ends up absolutely fabulous. You're going to have to deal with some nonsense, but you know what? Listen, considering what a lot of the signs are going through, this looks pretty damn good to me. I'll see you guys next time for the 3rd week in July. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care now. Bye-bye.